Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to solve paper 3 spreadsheet task for Cambridge IGCSE ICT exam, variant 31, May-June 2023. Okay, you have been supplied with the following source files. So in your folder, you should check and make sure you have this file. Okay, we have this file in our folder. Create a new Word process document. Make sure your name, center number, and candidate number will appear on every page of this document. Okay, so let's create a new Word document. Okay, insert header to have our details at the top. Okay, your center number and then your candidate number. Save this document in your work area as J2331 evidence, followed by your center number, candidate number, for example. Okay, so the name of the file should look like this. So let's save. Okay, and then have your center number and then candidate number. Okay, change this to Word document, the file format, and then save. You will use this as your evidence document during the examination. Okay, task 2. You're going to create a spreadsheet to calculate and display weather data about 3 towns called Amata, Bingchen, and Chesme. Open and examine the file J31 weather in your spreadsheet software. Okay, so let's open the file J31 weather. This is the file. Okay. Okay, so we have data that shows data about weather. Okay, you can adjust this. Save this as a spreadsheet with the file name weather followed by your center number, candidate number. Okay, so let's save this file. Okay. Okay, followed by your center number and then your candidate number. Okay, change the file type to Excel and then save. Okay, place in the footer, left aligned, the automated file name with no file path. Okay, and then right aligned, your name, center number, and candidate number. Okay, so we need to go to insert, header and footer. Okay, so we need to place it in the footer. Okay, so left aligned, file name. Okay, insert. Okay, go to design and then file name. Okay, and then right aligned, your name, center number, and candidate number. Okay, that's done. So you can go to the normal view. Okay, that is done. Okay, format rows 1 to 17 of the spreadsheet to look like this. Okay, so we need to format the rows to look exactly like this. Okay, so what we are going to do is, let's first of all remove the grid lines. Okay. Let's see, up to G. Okay, remove the grid lines. Okay, now let's apply the border for the the okay, for the rows. Let's apply borders. Okay, so we have border lines from row 1 to A1 up to D4. A1 up to D4. A1 up to D4. Okay, so we need to apply borders, all borders. Okay, now if you look at this, the first row, you can see that the cells are merged together and the text is bold. Okay, the text is bold and italic. Okay, so row 1, we are going to merge. Okay, you can just merge center. Okay, is it center aligned? Yes, it's center aligned, bold and italic. Okay, I think the size will be mentioned later on. Yes, the size is mentioned later on. We'll get back to that. Okay. Okay, row 2 is bold. Okay, row 2 is bold. Okay, this text is bold. Okay. Okay, row 5, there's no grid lines. Okay. And then row 6 to 11, we need to have border lines. Row 6 to 11. Okay. That is A6 up to D11. A6 to D11. Okay, D11. A6 to D11. Okay, we need to have border lines. Okay, and then we can see that we only have in the question paper, okay, only D has only D is column D is separate. Okay, column A to C are all merged together and the text is right aligned. Okay, column A to C. Okay. Okay, they are merged. Oh, excuse me. Okay, we need to do that one by one. Okay, just merge. Merge. Okay, and it is right aligned. Okay. Okay, that's done. Right aligned. Okay, but if we look at the text here in cell A11, okay, we can see that in the question paper, okay, it starts with the text stopped at than 5 and then started the rest of the text in it's text wrapped. Okay, it is text wrapped. So what we are going to do is we are going to adjust. Okay, 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 I'm going to wrap the text. Okay, wrap until. Okay, I think that's correct. Okay, 5, it stops at 5. Okay, that we are not done. Yeah, this is correct now. Okay. Okay, then if we look at the question paper, It says apply the formattings in rows 15 to 17 down to row 73. Okay, so let's just apply border lines from row 13. Okay, border lines from row 13. Okay, you need to be careful. From row 13. Okay, up to 73. So apply border lines. Oh, I think we skipped this row. Okay, that is done. Okay, and we can see that row 13, all the texts are bold. Okay, row 13 and 14, all the texts are bold. Okay, row 13 and 14, all are bold. Bold. Okay, I think we are done with that. Let's see. Okay, if we look at row B13 up to D13, they are merged. Okay, E13 to G13 merged, and then H13 to J13 merged. Okay, so we are going to do that. Okay, merge this. Okay, is this center aligned? Yes, it's center aligned. Okay, merge center aligned. Okay, apply the formattings in rows 15 to 17 down to row 73. Done. Centers in row 1 and 13 must be merged and center aligned. Okay, from row 1, okay, and cells in row 1, sorry, in row 1 and 13 must be merged, center aligned with a 16-point font as shown. Okay, so row 1 and 13, row 1, the font size is 16, and then row 13, the font size is also 16. Okay, that is done. Cells in the range A6 to C11 must be merged as shown. Okay, excuse me, A6 to A11. We have done this. Okay, before we get to the print stage, okay, we need to adjust row 14 to look exactly like this. Okay, row 14. I'm going to text wrap it. Okay, let's see, and then okay, it's center aligned. Okay, we need to ensure that they are all the same. Okay, let's see. Wind speed. Okay, the wind speed. Okay, wind speed. And then, okay, all the others are good. Okay, let's just double check one more time. Okay, that's it. Okay, print your spreadsheet showing the values. Okay, make sure the page orientation is landscape. The page orientation is landscape, and the content of all cells are fully visible and can be easily read. Row and column headings are displayed. Okay, so rows and column headings are displayed. Okay, page layout. Okay, set print area. Okay, okay, set print area, and then of course we need our headings to show. and then the orientation is landscape. Okay, so let's try to print. Okay, so this is what we should have. Okay, we have 3 pages. Okay, the number of page is not mentioned, so that's no problem. Okay, so this is what your printout should look like. Okay, we are done with that. Now, place in cell D3, okay, cell D3 to cell B3 to D3. Where is cell B3 to D3? Okay, B3 to D3. Okay, formula to calculate for each town, okay, the average hours of sunshine for January, okay, and then rounded to 1 decimal place. So the average hours for sunshine for January, okay, the average hours for sunshine. So for a matter, this is sunshine, and just for January only. Okay, so we're going to type our formula equal, okay, equal average, okay, average. So the cell range for sunshine for January only, okay, up to this, up to January, okay, and then you can close. Okay, but because we are to round up to, we need to round up to 1 decimal place, so we have to add round. Okay, so round, okay, round up to decimal place 1, and then we close the bracket. Okay, this is done. Okay, so we are going to do the same also for Bing Chen. Okay, excuse me. Okay, average sunshine. Okay, so for Bing Chen, we also do the same, equal. Okay, I'm going to use the round first. Okay, round, and then average. Okay, the cell range. So for sunshine Bing Chen, January. Okay, close the bracket, and then round to 1. Okay, that's done. And then same thing for Jasmine. Okay, equal round. Okay, average, the cell range. Oh, excuse me. The cell range January. Okay, January. And then close bracket. Then 1. Okay, that's done. Okay, so we are done with this. Okay. Now, place in cell B4 to D4. Okay, B4 to D4. Let's see. B4 to D4. Okay, formula to calculate for each town the average hours of sunshine for February, rounded to 1 decimal place. Okay, same step. Okay, just that we are calculating for February. Okay, so we are going to type our formula again, equal round and average, fill the cell range. Oh, excuse me. Okay, we need to do for February. Okay, February. Okay. Okay. and then round to one decimal place. That's done. Okay, same thing. Round, average. Okay, the cells. Okay, February. Okay, February. Okay, close bracket, and then round up to one. Okay, done. And the last one for Chesme. Okay, equal round. Okay, average. Okay, the cell range. Okay, the cell range. Okay, starts from here. Okay, close the bracket, round up to one decimal place. Okay, and that's it. We are done for this part. Okay, this has been done. Now, place in cells D6 to D8. Where is D6 to D8? Okay, this is cell D6 to D8. Okay. Formula to calculate the total numbers of days that it rained in each of the three towns. Okay, so in each of the three towns, we want to calculate how many number of days it rained. Okay, so for example, January 1st, 2023, it rained. Okay, we can see the value. Okay, it rained, but in January 2nd, there was no rain. Okay, that's why it shows 0. So we just want to count how many days it rained. Okay, for each for Amata, for Bingchen, and for Chesme. Okay, the total number of days. Okay, so total number of days it rained for Amata. So we are going to use the formula count if. Okay, count if. Okay, the cell range. Okay, this is for January. Let's be sure. Okay, it has to be for, hold on. Okay, January, it's not stated, so that means we need to select all up to 73. Okay, up to 73. And then we need to add the criteria. Okay, so it has to be days that it is greater than 0. Okay, days that it is greater than 0. Okay, okay, greater than 0. And then close bracket. Okay, so 35. Let's just double check to be sure we are correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Okay, so that's correct. Okay, we need to do the same thing also for Bing Chen. Okay, the same formula, count if. Okay, the range. Okay, close, then comma, then the criteria. Okay, the criteria is greater than 0. Excuse me. Okay, same thing for Chesme. Okay, count if. Okay, the range. Okay, close, excuse me, comma. Okay, the range greater than 0, then close brackets. Yes, that's done. Okay, so this is done. Okay, place in cell D9. Okay, in cell D9, formula to calculate the average wind speed in Amata. Okay, in January. Oh, sorry. Okay, place in cell D9 a formula to calculate the number of days with more than 7.5 mm of rain in Amata. Okay, let's check cell D9. Okay, so this D9, okay, the number of rain, okay, the number of days it rained with more than 7.5 in Amata. Okay, the number of days it rained in Amata. Okay, so same equal count if. Okay, select the range. Okay, and then comma. So the criteria should be it's greater than 7.5. Okay, greater than 7.5, and then you close bracket. Okay, just 10 days. Okay, this is done. Place in cell D10. Okay, in cell D10, formula to calculate the average wind speed, okay, in Amata in January, rounded up to the nearest knot. Okay, rounded up to the nearest knot. So that's rounded up to 0. So for D10, formula to calculate average wind speed. Okay, average wind speed in Amata. So we start with round and then average. We want to calculate average. Okay, the cell range. So for Amata, wind speed. Okay, for the month of January only. Month of January only. Then you close bracket. Okay, rounded to 0. Okay, close bracket. Okay, that's it. Okay, question 8. Place in cell D11 a formula to calculate the number of days with a wind speed of less than 5 knots. Okay, less than 5 knots in Amata in January. Okay, so same, we need to use count if. Okay, for Amata from D. Okay, this is wind speed. Okay, so wind speed. So for January only, okay, up to D45. Okay, then we need to add the criteria. Okay, so it says less than 5. Okay, close bracket. Okay, and that's it. That's done. Okay, question 9. Save your spreadsheet. Print your spreadsheet showing the formula. Okay, let's save our spreadsheet. Save. And then print our spreadsheet showing the formula. Click on formula and then show formula. Okay, ensure that all are visible. Okay, if they're not visible, you can do the adjustments. Okay, the rows and columns headings are displayed. The page orientation is landscape. Contents of all cells are fully visible and can be easily read. Okay, so the rows and columns are displayed and then the page orientation is landscape. Okay. Page layout, set print area. Okay, the orientation is landscape. Okay, check this. Okay, and then let's print. Okay, we have 9 pages. Okay, you can fit all columns to one page. Okay, now we have 2 pages. Okay. Okay, that's done. Okay, question 10. Print your spreadsheet showing the values. Make sure only cells A1 to D11 are displayed. Okay, so we need to show the values now. Formula, show values. Okay, we are only printing these cells. Okay, A1 to D11. Okay, and then the page orientation, the rows and columns headings are not displayed, and page orientation is portrait. It fits on a single page, and the content of all cells are fully visible and can be read. Okay, so the rows and headings are not displayed, and the page orientation is portrait. Page layout, set print area. Okay, the orientation is portrait. Okay, uncheck this. So let's try to print. Okay, this is it. So that's done. Okay, next, 11. In cell E3, calculate the total number of the total rainfall for Chesme for January in cell E3. Okay, in cell E3. Okay, this is E3. So we need to calculate the total number of rainfall for Chesme. Okay, so I'm going to label this as total number. Okay, total rainfall. Okay, for Chesme. So equal sum, I'm going to use the function of equal sum. Total number of rainfall for January. For January, okay, it should be up to 45, okay. Okay, that's it. Okay, because now if we look at all the data we have been calculating from the beginning of this paper, we round it up to 1 decimal place. Okay, so I think we will do that for this also. We are going to round it up. Okay, so I'm going to use the function round. Okay. Round to 1 decimal place. Okay, that's done. Okay, in cell E4, calculate the total number of Chesme, rainfall for Chesme for February. Okay, total number of rainfall for February. Okay, same, equal, round. Okay, then the sum function. Okay, and then the cell range for February. Okay, February starts from here. Okay, then close bracket. Okay, come around up to 1. Oh, okay, from J46 to J73. Okay, I believe that is correct. Hold on, this is I. Okay, there's a mistake. It's supposed to be I, not J. Okay, this is correct now. Okay, then we are done with this. The next question says create an appropriate chart to compare the average hours of sunshine with the total amount of rainfall for the months of January and February in Chesme. Okay, so we just calculated the total rainfall for Chesme for the month of January, February. Okay, we need to compare it with the average hours of sunshine. Okay, where's the data for average hours? Okay, so this is the data for average hours of sunshine. Okay, so let's create a chart first. But before we do that, I'm going to put my data in just one side of the spreadsheet. Okay, I'm going to have month. Okay, so month average hours of sunshine. Okay, and then I'm going to have the total rainfall here. Okay, total rainfall. Okay, then I'm going to have January, and then here February. Okay, so I can just extract this. Oh, okay. Let's skip that. Okay, so for January, the average sunshine is we have 3.4. Okay, and then we have for February 2.6. Okay, this is the data here. Okay, so for rainfall, this is the data here. We have 79.5. Okay, and for February, we have 74.1. Okay, that's done. The next question says, we are done with this. Set the month as the category as is. Okay, we need to insert um the chart first. Okay, select, insert. Okay, okay. Set the month as the category axis. Okay, so we have this month here, but we are still going to label the axis. Okay, set the average hours of sunshine as the primary value axis and the rainfall as the secondary value axis. Okay, so click on change chart type, combo. Okay, so this is the primary axis title, primary axis. Okay, we are going to change the average hours to line. Okay, now the total rainfall is, according to the question, the total rainfall should be the secondary value axis. Okay, so we are going to check this. Okay, and then okay. Okay, so that is done. Then it says set the rainfall axis to have a maximum value of 100 mm. Okay, a maximum value of 100 ml. Okay, this is um yes, this is the rainfall, yes, the rainfall axis. So the maximum should be 100. Okay, so the maximum is 100. We don't need to change that. Okay, we need to set the months. Okay, it says fully label the chart. Okay, so I'm going to click on axis title, So I'm going to label this as a month. Okay, this is the month. Okay, and here is the average hours of sunshine. Okay, average hours of sunshine. Okay, and here is the total rainfall. Okay, total rainfall. Okay, then our title should be let's see the question. Okay, it says we are to compare the average hours of sunshine with the total amount of rainfall. Okay, okay, and then what else? Okay, that's it. Save your chart and place a copy of your chart in the evidence document. Okay, just copy your chart and then place in your evidence document. And that's it. We're done with this task. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video.